welcome to a nice, very fresh, refreshing, awesome, fresh episode of Gym Rats. As always, it is me, XFL Jim.
You want it? I'm gonna give it to you right now.
And I'm joined by none other than the man himself, Uncle Rico, a.k.a. Eric, a.k.a. ETOF21 Sports.
Whoa.
What is up, dude?
Dude, I feel I haven't seen you forever, dude.
It has been, since like before Christmas?
I mean, when I talk to my mom, the first question is, how's the dog? The second question is, how's Jim?
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a long time, my friend.
How was the trip?
Trip was good. Got to go see LA before it burst up in flames. So spent like my first day. Yeah. Because we left on, I'm trying to think what day we flew out. So we flew in on the 27th. And I rented a car. We drove around because we flew into Long Beach. And then we drove around actual Los Angeles, took the girl to Hollywood, did a whole bunch of fun stuff. That was a good time. Got some In-N-Out burger. And then...
Rubbing it in asphalt.
Yeah, I know. Then we hit the cruise. Cruise was fun. Had the drink package, so drank my fill. I had never gambled on a boat before, so that was interesting.
How was that?
So even in the casino, you could feel like the boat like swaying a bit, especially at night or when they're going fast. I'm just like, I don't know if I feel like roulette is fair. That has to affect things, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I like it, but it was fun. Played a bunch of craps. I taught my my girlfriend's littlest sister, her boyfriend. I taught him how to play craps.
And how old is he?
He is 22.
How old is he? 14?
10 and 22. 22, Eric. He's of age. It's fine. But yeah, it was fun. Went to 3 stops in Mexico. Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, and Cabo.
Now, did you what was your drink? Did you go like full like touristy, hey, give me
I mixed it around. I hit banana daiquiris a lot. I'm gonna be.
Or were you like, hey, you know what? I have to go straight Corona here because I'm in Mexico right now.
No. I did a couple Coronas. Usually off the ship, I would just order like a margarita or something. But like on the ship where the package counted, it was a lot of banana daiquiris, a lot of pina coladas, and then a shitload of like vodka sodas and gin and tonics.
I probably would have been heavy Corona, maybe some Modelo.
See, but like I'm just like, yeah, but I'm not gonna. I paid for the drink package. I want to get the cocktails.
Yeah. Okay.
Started every morning with a frozen blended Irish coffee.
I respect that, dude.
I just didn't want a hot one, you know. But they did milkshake. They did milkshake version of it. It was fucking good.
That, dude. I hear you.
I love you, sports facts. I hate the Lakers chiming in. By the way, it is a loaded day of sports.
Dude, we got UFC, we got NFL, God, and I agree with my boy Bobby, whose broke ass would come out for the game.
Okay, so we're talking college basketball today. This is a huge slate. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add in a bet at the end of the show. Since I'm not doing college basketball teasers. I'm just not.
Thank God you're finally growing up.
No, Eric, I never did basketball teasers.
Jesus, dude. If you do a college basketball teaser, it's one of those things you're telling me you shouldn't be betting without telling me you shouldn't be betting.
Like, I feel like football teasers you can kind of excuse.
Football teasers, you know what? It's not my cup of tea, but I'll at least give you a pass.
If you're teasing basketball, you're an animal.
Basketball, and you can quote me on this, you're a fucking moron who shouldn't be betting.
Yeah, you should be put down.
I'm going to go that far. I mean,
I'm going to go that far.
That's a little severe. But if you're doing that, you should not be betting.
I am going to start us off. I got 11 a.m. here.
Yeah.
I'm taking Duke Notre Dame. I'm taking the under 136 and a half. Both.
Ooh.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to get there with Notre Dame a little bit, but something about it just pulled me back. But I've been looking at these teams. They haven't really been they haven't been pushed too far. And I just don't see them both being able to hit the over. I think Notre Dame could probably keep it fairly close, but I think this is going to be an ugly game, and I think we keep this low scoring.
I really feel that is lost in everyone's love for Cooper Flagg is how elite the Duke's defense has been this season.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm rolling with the under. I didn't want to take a side in it. Call me a coward if you want when I take totals, but I don't give a shit. I have another 11 a.m. game, though. And this one's just, call me Chalky Jim. I'm taking St. Bonnie's minus 13. And you want to know my whole strategy behind it, Eric? I looked up teams' record against the spread, and I'm just going to ride the train.
the Bonnies are due for so much regression. But go ahead.
I know, but I don't, Eric. It's the same mentality I have when I sit down at a blackjack table and it's hit black 4 times in a row or 5 times in a row. There's people out there that will want to play red.
You don't. You don't. You still look at it like, hey, it's a 50% chance.
Not even that. I ride the train. It's like, oh, black 5 times in a row. I'm going to keep playing black. And I did that on the cruise. But yeah, so I'm taking St. Bonnie's minus 13. I don't care. I don't care that they're due. They're due for another win against the spread. That's what they're due for. Those are my early games, Eric. I think you got one next.
Yeah, I got one, and I hate the fact I am doing this. I am going down to South Carolina. I am taking, swallow my pride, South Carolina plus 16 and a half. Let's look at the spot. South Carolina coming off a blow-off loss against Alabama. Auburn, kind of a trap spot, coming off a game against Texas, which they did win by 5, but it was never really that close. Look-ahead spot with Mississippi State on deck early in the week. Playing a noon game, kind of a sleepy spot for an Auburn team. Unranked teams in conference play facing a top 5 opponent that are coming off a loss where they lost by 14 to 45 points. You ready for this, Jim?
Give it to me.
62%.
Sheesh.
Every year when we look at these teams' resumes, there's always like, what the F was that game? And Auburn's elite. Boone's playing great, but I feel this could kind of be their game where they a little bit struggle because of the situation. Back-to-back road games, Mississippi State on deck. South Carolina defensively pretty good, 81st in KenPom, 70th in efficiency, 77th in opponent scoring, 50th in opponent's assists per game, so they don't allow you to move the ball. I think South Carolina is going to be able to gum up the game. I think it's a good spot. I'm going to take South Carolina. The Gamecocks plus 16 and a half against Auburn.
I like it. I got one at noon as well. I looked over to the MAC, and this is another this is chalk, but the other side of the chalk. I'm taking NIU plus 20 and a half versus Ohio. Again, this is me. I'm getting into the college basketball shape. I've been sick. I had a vacation. I got to get back into it. So I dipped my toe in. Ohio's one of the worst teams against the spread. So looked at that. You could say they're due. I don't care. NIU's not that great either, but Ohio is abysmal. The Bobcats are abysmal. And with the spread that big, I had to take NIU. Northern Illinois plus 20 and a half. Mark it.
Mark it.
This the next one I had is at 1 p.m. It was this one was hard for me.
Yeah, I have a couple of oneers.
This one was hard for me. I have BYU minus 1.5 versus TCU. I was flip-flopping on this one. I was looking at it this morning. These teams are very, very close. But do you know, Eric, that TCU has never beaten BYU?
That's something I didn't know.
I'm pretty sure I looked that up accurately.
I have an NFL stat after you tell us that's going to blow your mind.
Road faves. I don't care. Yeah, that's what was keeping me from doing that. You know what? I don't care. I'm taking BYU over TCU. I get it, Bobby. I get that they're a road favorite. I don't care.
So here's my question for you. In the history of the NFL, there's been 17 teams that have made the playoffs that have committed over 130 penalties in the season. Of those 17 teams that made the playoffs, only one of them made the Super Bowl, and that was the Seattle Seahawks the year they lost the Patriots when they didn't give Lynch the ball on the 1 yard line.
Uh-huh.
Do you care to guess what is the one team this year that has over 132 penalties?
Is it the Ravens?
You are correct.
Hey!
Did you just Google it?
No. No, I think I heard on a radio show or a podcast that the Ravens had a lot. I didn't hear the exact number. I just heard that they had a lot of penalties.
My first bet at 1, and I'm going down to Lubbock. Give me Texas Tech. I got them at a pick, minus 115 against Iowa State. Texas Tech, 8 in adjusted offense efficiency, 3rd in field goal percentage, showcasing how good they are being able to score. They excel at defending the rim and limiting fast break points. This isn't the old Iowa State team. This team can score. They can get out and run. So that's going to be really key. They also are very good at avoiding turnovers and maximizing scoring opportunities. Texas Tech's strength is their offensive rebounding. I think they're going to be able to create some chances to exploit Iowa State's defense. Iowa State, look ahead factor. They have Kansas on deck overlooking this matchup at home against Texas Tech. Texas Tech has the shooters needed to exploit Iowa State's defensive vulnerabilities, giving them a clear offensive edge. Over the last 20 years, ranked teams on the road as a pick'em to a 2-point underdogs are 45.8% ATS with a negative 11% ROI. This trend favors Texas Tech as a pick'em to a slight favorite. The combination of how efficient offensively Texas Tech is, the rebounding edge, and Iowa State's potential look ahead factor brought me to Texas Tech. So I take Texas Tech on the money line, minus 115.
I respect it. I like it. I looked at this one. I ended up staying away. I moved Eric.
Soft.
Yeah. Well, I was going to be on Iowa State when I was like, so my initial, I looked at it. I was like, oh, I like Iowa State. Looked into the game. I was like, you know what? Fuck that. No, thank you. I got enough on my plate. Any more at 1 or are we moving to 3?
I got another one at 1.
Go for it. I'm tapped. BYU is my only 1 o'clock play.
I'm going to Cincy. Give me Cincy on the money line, minus 105 against Kansas. Again, another spot situation. Kansas has Iowa State on deck. Cincinnati looking to bounce back here, needing to win after not 1, not 2, but 3 consecutive losses this season in conference play. Cincinnati was ranked last week. We need to remember that. Now they've lost 3 straight, coming off losses to Baylor, Arizona, and Kansas State. Cincinnati allows just 61 points per game, one of the better defenses in the Big 12, 11th in defensive efficiency, good at forcing turnovers and defending the perimeter. Kansas struggles defending three-pointers. Cincinnati, with the shooters they have, are going to be able to exploit that weakness. Teams on a 3-game conference losing streak as a pick'em to small underdog cover at 56%. When they're facing a ranked opponent, Jim, that's up to 63%. Cincinnati's offense is going to be able to exploit Kansas' weakness in defending the arc, giving them the edge in the outside shooting. Look, with the kitchen sink spot, with Cincinnati looking to get a win, looking to bounce back after 3 consecutive losses and the trends, give me Cincinnati here on the money line, minus 105.
I like attacking the look ahead spots, Eric.
That's what I do.
Very much do.
That's what I do, Jim. Jim, college basketball for me is all about look ahead spots, dude. I'm going to probably say that 58 times.
It's all about the look ahead?
That and win with margin. Those are going to be my 2 key, my things I always say.
I remember the win with margin from last year. I remember. Moving on to 3 p.m. I think me and Eric are on the same side in this one, so watch out. Took the Arkansas Razorbacks +5 versus Florida. Looking back and forth on this one. Two teams that I don't think are that dissimilar. I think Arkansas probably doesn't win because, it's kind of how they've been shaken out this year. But I think they have the ability to keep it close. I think they fight hard against a Florida team who's a little shaken up. I took the Razorbacks +5.
Look, I got at 4.5. Florida's coming off a 30-point win over top-ranked Tennessee, setting up for a huge letdown spot. Arkansas 0-2 an SEC game, making this, as I mentioned before, a kitchen sink type game. We're going to be looking to avoid going 0-3. Typical buy low, sell high. Arkansas undervalued after consecutive losses. Must win with a tough schedule I have coming ahead. Florida overvalued, coming off beating Tennessee after their worst shooting performance in years. We got to remember Boogie. Arkansas is 8-1 when Boogie Flan scores over 15 points. He's averaging, and they average 85 points per game in those games. Florida has struggled against quicker guards like Boogie Flan. RJ Davis scored 29. Jameer Wilkins scored 19. If Flan can get in rhythm, Arkansas is going to be able to exploit this Florida defense and open up the offense and open up jumpers for other people. Arkansas typically 118th in possessions per game, thrives when Flan pushes the place. Flan's recent shooting struggles, 10 for 35 in his last game, show he's due for some bounce back, some positive shooting regression. Another key thing, this is both teams' third game in 8 days, but Arkansas benefits from being at home the last 2. Florida has been traveling for every game during the stretch, potentially going to be a little bit tired going into this game. Florida has shown vulnerabilities against faster-paced teams and struggled defending quicker guards, which aligns with Arkansas' strengths. When we look at the spot, the home court for Arkansas, not having to travel, and the trends, kitchen sink, I'm on Arkansas here +4.5.
Yeah, I sprinkled a little bit too on the money line. Not going to lie.
I'll be coming back to that later in the show.
Ooh. 3:30, Eric. I have 2 games at 3:30. I took Houston Christian +1. Again, that's just another look at the chart. Call me Square Jim if you want, but I'm going to get there. Don't worry. We're going to get there, folks. But also, I feel like this is my team that I've included in almost every college basketball show that we've ever done. I don't remember if I did last year. What was the team? Do you remember, Eric, what team I was always about? Was it?
Longwood.
Lindenwood UT Martin is the game I'm in.
I thought it was Longwood.
I think it was Longwood last year. I think so. But I'm taking Lindenwood UT Martin. First half under 64. His age? Yeah, I think yeah.
Where else would it be?
Well, fucking, they got some weird stuff, dude. They got some weird.
Here, let me go. You talk. I'm going to Google.
I'm picking Lindenwood UT Martin under 64 first half. These teams get to slow starts. It's pretty simple. They just haven't had strong starts, either one of them, in a lot of their last few games. So I'm rolling with the under. Just keep it first half, keep it simple, and I'm prepping for the end of March when I do my first half unders for the first round. I gotta get one in.
It is on Sam Houston Parkway in Houston, Texas. Nice.
Pretty sure they used to be Houston Baptist and they changed to Houston Christian.
Oh.
That's a very recent change that they've made.
Isn't that where the Western Kentucky offensive coordinator, which was like the big cup of tea a couple years ago, was from? I
think so. Yeah. He was good there too.
Balled out.
I think didn't they isn't that Western Kentucky's coach? Didn't they?
Yeah, I think it's him too. Yeah.
They took the entire Houston Baptist staff.
That's where Zappy was from too.
Was it that or was that Holy Cross?
No, I thought Zappy was from there too.
Maybe. I think you're right. All right, Eric. That's it for me. I'm tapped.
You know what? I'm tapped too, my friend.
I got a little 3-teamer parlay for college basketball, and then I got one other one coming up for you guys. But my 3-teamer is thus. I'm taking JMU, Long Beach State, and Towson plus 1245. Just throwing it out there, all money line. Just throwing it all out there.
All right. You ready for mine?
I'm ready for it.
It's just very simple. Arkansas on the money line. Cincy money line. Excuse me. I'm spacing on the Texas Tech money line. And then I didn't want to throw South Carolina in. I needed a fourth leg. So I went to UFC. Give me Buns plus 143. That's my 1400.
Okay, I was going to ask you, Eric, because I wanted to include it. I wanted you to help me pick a USC bet today to add to my other parlay.
You want a long shot?
I'll do a long shot.
So I have from a very reliable source in the Boone's camp, he's going to be trying hard for a submission.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a little juicy, he's at plus 575 on Bet Online, plus 600.
Let me see if I can add that in there. Where's he at? I've actually never bet UFC on Bet Online. I've always done
last part on the prelims. Facing Johnson.
Got it. And you said submission?
Yep.
Boom. Okay. So here's my little parlay for you. Multi-sport. Oh, wow, Bet Online won't let me include UFC in it. Disgusting. Okay, I have to just include him to win. They won't let me include by submission in the parlay.
Weak.
So here's the parlay. Loyola, Chicago over St. Joe's. I'm going to take Arkansas over Florida.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the NBA. I'm going to take the Grizzlies over the Timberwolves.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the NFL. And I'm going to take the Texans to beat the Chargers.
Dude, I'm trying to find odds for you right now. I love the Texans. I gave that one out on my podcast, Jimmy.
Love it. And then I'm taking Burns, just straight up.
There you go.
That gets me a little plus 8672. There you go.
If you want a real long shot, Deontay Johnson, anytime touchdown, 11-1.
Ooh. I like that too. Yeah, I like the Chargers. Don't get me wrong; they're a good team. They have heart. The Texans have looked like garbage, but like,
I think the key thing is, not to go on a tangent. Number one, this is their third game in the row.
That's what I was gonna say.
Historically speaking, teams in this third game have struggled. And then when we just look at the schematical matchup, what do the Chargers like to do? They like to run the ball. Why do they like to run the ball? To set up the play action pass. What are the two things that the Texans defense does the best? They stop the run, best in the league DVOA wise, stopping the run, top 10 defending play action pass. I think it's a hard matchup for the Chargers. Chargers defense, second half of the season, bottom half in EPA. They have been allowing people running the ball. Deontay Johnson is back in the mix. I think that's going to open stuff up because for as bad as he's been this year with whatever is going on, he's still one of the better route runners in the NFL. So you put that guy opposite of Nico Collins, he's going to be able to get some stuff going. Schultz over the top. Mixon's going to be able to run some ball. Yeah, I got the Texans +3. I wouldn't surprise me if they straight up win.
Awesome. Any other parting thoughts? Enjoy this day. Great day of sports. Great weekend of sports.
Dude. I'm going to be live with Gino in about an hour talking NFL, too, just letting you guys know.
What do you think of the national championship matchup in college football, Eric?
Notre Dame's voodoo needs to be studied. I mean,
it does.
Jesus Christ, dude. That game came down to 3 plays. Number one, you can blame it on Singleton for not catching the ball, Aller for throwing a ball short. That should have been a tutty right there for Penn State. Play number 2, obviously, the Penn State defender just magically falls down, loses his footing, leads to that touchdown. Play number 3, Aller, who's been elite all year, not risking it, just throwing the ball away, decides to make a throw. And the crazy thing is, Penn State was going to play for overtime. If Singleton doesn't make that run, they're not even giving any. And then, it's just this year in football, it seems like I've had so many teams get down inside the 5-yard line and not score. And it was just a fitting way with Texas getting in there and not scoring. Number one, I don't understand, why not just run a quarterback draw with Ewers, who did that great play before? I thought Ewers played great. I thought he came up with some throws. I thought he looked really good. Why not do a quarterback run with him or bring in Arch to do an RPO package? Or you got Helm, their tight end, who I didn't think they used at all. I was on his over 44.5, ended up with 42, only 3 targets, 2 receptions, 42 yards. Why not just throw a jump ball to him because he's so tall? I hated the outside zone run that led to that whole thing. But it's going to be interesting. Like, if I'm Ewers, I pull a Carson Beck. I find an Instagram model today, and I go back to college.
Carson Beck, yeah? Has he said he's trying to go for the NFL?
No, he announced Beck came back and said he's going to enter the portal. He posted, he dates one of those twins that play basketball at Miami.
Yeah.
They posted a video saying it's all about the U. So, I mean, I think he's going to be going there, obviously. And then Ewers said he's going to be going to the draft. I mean, granted, I know this is a weak draft class for quarterback, but I just see it. Like, dude, just go be in college again, man. Like, for him, he's young enough. Just be in college again, man. It's not like you're the guy from freaking.
You're not Cam Rising.
Yeah. So, but
I enjoyed both games. I think Notre Dame's voodoo is the fact that they seemingly injure a player every game. Like every game, a new player gets injured. It feels like, and that's just keeping the voodoo going. I am worried about them against Ohio State.
Line's 9.5, dude.
Yeah. Ugh.
I'll probably be on Henderson receiving props over. That's gonna be my only bet.
Hey, it worked out for you. Only took one play.
But dude, he was open all the time in the flat. In our group text, I was like, as someone sitting on a Henderson over 22.5, I would love just one swing past me. He's like sitting wide open in the flat.
It only took one.
How would you feel to be that guy sitting on a Texas? Would you be more pissed off as a guy sitting on Texas +7 or Texas +3.5 for the first half?
Ooh. I think 3.5 for the first half. All right, folks.
I would be the first half one too. Because, like, you got the excitement.
Yeah.
And then you're just like a 75-yard fucking dump pass to the house.
That'll do it for this episode of Gym Rats. We love you guys. We'll see you guys. Enjoy this day. Enjoy this time. This is a wonderful time to be a sports fan. Bye-bye, everybody.
I just did the clap, Jeff.